Hi guys, welcome to Elm Colors. I'm Erica, and today we are going to be doing another Weekend WIP page. I am going to be working on a page that I had started in the Eriy World, what's it called? World Heritage Travel Over Time. And I'm going to be using mostly Primo Soft colors, and I'll get into why it's mostly here in just a second. I'm going to take a sip of tea, and then we'll get into it. Okay, so I am working on, let me show you the page first. I am working, where'd it go? Here it is. I'm going to be working on this page, which I thought was appropriate since Easter is tomorrow. And I do have a really pretty color palette that I found on Pinterest picked out, so I'll put that up on screen right now. And I said mostly because I do have to bring in a couple of different colors. So this is the swatch chart for the Artlicious pencils, and you can see they're super bright. There are some lighter tones, which are the ones that I've pulled to work into that color palette that I posted. But to get some of the lighter tones, I decided to pull in some of my Color Blend by Spectrum Noir, the Soft Tints 12 pack. And I've already got the colors selected that I want to use. So I'm going to use this pink, this yellow, turquoise, and this blue. And that's going to really help me get those super light colors. So I do have to sharpen just one more pencil, so I'm going to do that off camera really quick. Hang on. Okay. So I don't really have a game plan other than having that color palette selected. So I'm kind of just going to go with whatever feels good. So let's see. Let's just start with pink here. I think that's a good starting point. So I'm actually going to start with this Color Blend Pearl Brush color and do the background since it's such a light pink. So hi everybody. I hope that you have had a wonderful, has it been a couple of weeks since I've talked to you? I think it has been. I hope that the content that I had on my channel while I was on vacation was good for you guys. My tag video came out, which I was super excited about. That came out the day that we left for vacation. And I really have been just touched by the reception of that tag. And I've been discovering new channels because of it, and it's been really fun. And if you haven't seen that yet, I will also link that up in the description. Oh, I don't know if I said earlier, I might have forgot to say, I've done a review of the Artlicious pencils. So first, I'll link the Artlicious pencils review, and then I'll also go through and list the tag video. But it was basically, I had been having this idea for a little while that I was going to do like this whole big elaborate book kind of pick out your favorite pages thing. And I was going to have, you pick, I don't know. I don't even remember where I started, but I settled with, you have 10 different artists. You pick your favorite book from each artist and your favorite page out of that book. And I think that went over pretty well with everybody. So, yeah, I was happy to see that everybody really liked it. It's a good way too to kind of go through your books and I don't know, just kind of look through them, figure out what kind of pictures call to you. Sometimes you just really like a picture and there's no real reason why, but yeah, it was an interesting one to do for sure. Yeah, and then I think some of the other videos I did were like, I did other people's tags, a few of other people's tags, and I did, I think I did a color along, and I did, what else did I do? Well, now I can't remember everything. I've recorded a whole bunch of stuff, and so I kind of was trying to pick and choose what I would release, and I think that you guys liked the ones that I put out, so that's good. It seems to me that even though this is a coloring channel, the color alongs don't go over quite as well. And I don't know if that is because people just want like a quick kind of thing, or I'm not sure what the exact reason is for that. I am gonna do one more thing. I need to grab another brighter pencil. I think I am gonna grab another one of those Primo Soft pencils. I do want to make it just a little bit darker, and I think that I'm going to use, I wonder if this hot pink will work for what I want. I just want a little bit of a darker, yeah, that'll work. This pink is turning into more of like a neon pink almost. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so I mean, the tag videos, and I mean, I'm expecting like the finished pages and the haul videos to do well. I just expect that. But some of the color alongs, maybe it just takes a little bit longer because people are watching all the other things first and then they come in for the color alongs. I don't know. So if color alongs are not what you're looking for on my channel, let me know in the comments, and I will start trying to figure out other things to do. I personally like to watch color alongs. I think that they are interesting and informative, and it's nice to see the page from start to finish. So yeah, I'm not sure if maybe I'm just doing something, I don't know. I'm trying not to let it bug me too much, but you know, I start thinking about it and then I can't stop thinking about it, and then yeah, then that's all that I think about, which is just silly. Okay, I think now this one is going to be too light for what I want. Let's do, because I kind of wanted this whole egg to be pinks. Let's do a little bit of this rose color. First, I'm going to go over the parts that I'm going to use this rose with a little bit of pink first, just to give it a little bit of that tone so that it's not too different. Because this is definitely more of a reddish pink. Let's see how I like that. I think that's cute. I can go back over again with my pink. Yeah, I think that's just gonna have to work. Yeah, so no more talk about videos because I am being weird about them right now. Yeah, so we had a wonderful vacation. We got to go to Florida and visit some family friends and enjoy the warm weather, and we just had a ball. We just relaxed. It wasn't like a huge, big old planned out vacation. I just wanted something where I could just go and do whatever we felt like doing, and that was it. We got to go to the beach one day, which that in itself is a whole thing. And I think I'll probably post just a little clip of the beach here. I'll probably just insert it here so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So yeah, so it was super windy, like super windy, so windy that if you sat on the beach and if you were sitting downwind from anybody and they moved and kicked up a little bit of sand, you would get sandblasted. It was so windy, but it was still the beach and I soaked up every second of it. I really, really enjoyed being there and was just thankful. And my family had fun, so that's really all that matters too. We did end up, everybody put on sunscreen, but we missed a couple of spots, so everybody did leave with a little bit of sunburn, but it wasn't too bad, except for my baby girl, my youngest daughter. She was fine. She was fine. We covered her, covered every inch of her, so she was good to go. And then we went to a lovely nature preserve that's down there and saw some black vultures. They were black vultures. And those birds are ginormous. And they have a couple of posts that they just like to hang out on. And the path, there's like this lovely wooden path that leads through the forest out to this lake. And it's through the forest and a little bit of a swamp. And yeah, there's just this post that these birds like to hang out on, and they're just sitting right there, and they're just so huge. And then at one point they got into it. There were two of them, and they got into a fight. So the kids got to see up close and personal a big old vulture fight. I am going to use a little bit of my white Posca, I think, to do some of these little, yeah. And then we saw a tiny little alligator on next to the path. We kept looking for him because we had been to this nature preserve a couple years ago when we went down, and we kept looking for him. The last time we had seen some pretty big ones. And this time we saw the little baby, but we couldn't find it. We kept looking for it and like, where are they? They're normally here. And my oldest daughter just happened to glance over and saw one just hanging out right next to the path, and it was just this little baby one. So we stayed and looked at that for a little bit. It's funny to think about what these animals might be thinking about as you're just staring at them. They're like, what is going on? But the kids liked seeing that. And then when we were out on the lake, there's like this little, it's like a covered shelter kind of thing. There's a couple of rocking chairs and a little railing, and then there's a little dock off the end. And we were standing out there, and I looked over and I saw this log floating in the water, and I was like, oh, that's, at first I was like, what is that? And I was like, oh, it's just a log. And then the log started moving in a direction that was not with the current. And my husband's like, Erica, that's not a log. That is an alligator. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it was pretty cool. It was a bigger one. And he kept just like popping up his little head. And I was like, I just kept watching for him. So we sat out there for like a good half hour, 45 minutes, just kind of trying to keep an eye on whether the alligator was where he was headed. Because this little dock is situated on a lake, and yeah, so I didn't know if he was just going to head out into the lake or if he was just in the water just to be in the water. But yeah, as we were sitting on the lake, there were all kinds of birds. And again, it was another really windy day. So we were watching these osprey, which are really cool birds. We were watching them try to fight against the wind. So it would just be like, I mean, you could tell they were trying to fly, but they were just like hovering. They weren't moving because they were trying to go against the wind, and it was pretty windy. We saw a couple of herons, and there was some kind of hawk, or I can't remember the name of it, that we saw too. Okay, that one's cute. Yeah, so really liked that. I got some really fun pictures of the family there. And we always like to try to find some place that, I think I'm going to color this one with the blues. Blues? Yeah. We always like to try to find someplace naturey to go for one of our days on vacation. I mean, not only is it free, which is a huge bonus to my husband because he's very frugal, but I don't know, just being in nature is so, it's just lovely. And while we have a couple of parks around here, we don't really get out into the parks very often. Well, I don't. My husband and my son, they run almost every single day, and they like to do trail runs more than like running on the street or the sidewalk. So they're usually out in the trails, but they're making a lot of noise as they're running, so they don't usually see a lot of critters. There'll be the occasional squirrel, but usually after they run, they'll go on like a cool down walk again through the trails, and that's when they'll see the stuff. So not long ago, gosh, it was only a month ago, we had gotten a lot of snow, and we went and walked through the forest, all in our snow gear, and it was a beautiful day. It was cold, but it was really beautiful, and we heard and saw all kinds of woodpeckers everywhere. But then there was this owl, and he just was having a whole conversation. I don't know if it was with another owl or what it was, but it was crazy to hear because we'd never heard anything quite like that, and it was really, really neat to hear. And I got it all on camera too. So, because I was trying to film a little bit of the woodpecker, and then this owl started losing his mind. And then we saw it fly away. We didn't see it where it was when it was in the trees, but we saw it fly away. So that was pretty neat. Yeah, I really do enjoy being outdoors. My husband and I, well, he does these trail runs that are like 5Ks that they go through our state parks, and when he goes and runs, I go with him. I don't run. Nope, I'm not a runner. But afterwards, we usually will take a little walk around the park together. And then we did that a couple of times last year, and then this year we're going to do that again. And we have our state parks have this passport little thing, and if you stop at every state park and check in, then you get some kind of prize or something. I don't know what it is, but So we've got a couple of them marked off our list already. So he's all about free stuff. So yeah, so back to Florida. One of the coolest things that we got to do was our friend down there, she has connections at Universal. So we got to go to Universal Studios theme park, which was amazing. We'd been before several years ago, but Becca was, my youngest, was super little, and she didn't remember any of it. And she's a little bit older now, so she's super into like Harry Potter, and so she really enjoyed seeing all of that. We made sure to go to Diagon Alley so she could see the dragon on top of Gringotts, and she loved seeing it breathe fire. She was not expecting to be able to feel the heat from it, which was pretty cool. She had never, like, we'd been to a theme park before, but she'd never been on like the big kid rides, you know. So we went to the first big kid ride we did was the Harry Potter, the Hogwarts Quidditch ride, and she was just not prepared for what that was, and she was so scared when it was over. But at the end of the day, she said she really liked the ride. So I think once she got used to the fact that some of these rides were going to be a little more intense, she was good with it. Yeah. I felt really bad though after that very first ride. She's like, I didn't like that. So, let's see. What color do we want to do these flowers? Let's do some pinks for that as well. I think I'm going to start with the hot pink down here. Maybe I'll do pink and yellow. Yeah, we'll do these ones as pink. And then what else did we do? At Universal, we were able to go to both parks, which was really fun. And the other ride, the other ride that my oldest daughter really wanted to go on was the Jurassic Park ride, which I had never been on. So we decided that we were gonna go ahead, and the line said it was only like an hour wait. We were like, yeah, we can go ahead and deal with that. And the thing is, even though Universal, they were running at a limited capacity, so yes, there were less people in the park, but it still seemed like, I mean, you still had to wait in lines for rides. So I don't remember it being quite that crazy when we went the last time, but maybe we were just there on an off day. I don't know. Anyway, so we got in line and we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting. And my husband's like, geez, how long is this going to take? Like, it's only supposed to take, you know, an hour, and it's been, I think we ended up waiting in that line for like 2 hours or something. And my poor kids were just bored out of their minds. And yeah, so it was a little rough waiting in the line. But once we got on the ride, it was really enjoyable until the very last minute, where there is a huge, just ginormous drop that we knew there was some kind of drop because we watched the ride come out and watched all the people get soaked. But we were not anticipating how steep the drop was for that. And my daughter, again, she started crying, my little one, and I felt just terrible. I know I'm laughing about it now, but that's because she says now that was her favorite ride. So I can laugh about it, but at the time I was like, oh my gosh, I'm scaring the crap out of her. But yeah, she ended up really liking it, so I didn't feel quite as terrible about it. Yeah, and then we got to go on several different rides. We went on the I think her favorites were the Spider-Man ride, the Transformers ride, and the Simpsons ride. She really liked how those were not super crazy, but still fun enough that you felt like you were, you know, in the show, kind of. What do we want to do here? I think I want to do that a darker blue. I think. Yeah, so we had a really good time. Really, really fun. And then on our way home, we ended up stopping in Nashville on our way home, and we woke up the next morning, or middle of the night actually, and there were just these huge storms rolling in, and thunder and lightning and just craziness. And we ended up leaving pretty early that morning, and it was still raining on us, and we ended up finally driving out of the rainstorms. But when we got home, we heard that there had been massive floods in Nashville, and I mean, lots of property damage. I think a couple people might have I know several people got hurt, and I feel like there might have been a couple of deaths, and that's just so scary. I feel for all those people. And when we were there, I was like, man, it's really coming down, but I never thought that it would have been quite that bad. So that was a little terrifying. The other thing we did on our way home, there's another state park that we stopped at because we weren't in a super big hurry to get home that final day of driving. So we stopped at this state park on our way home, and just had a ball. This park is right on a river, and there are fossil beds. So it's like these just giant slabs of rock that were exposed on the side of the river, and you can just walk out on these rocks and see everywhere you look there's some kind of fossil. And it was so cool. And then we were inside talking to the park ranger a little bit, and he actually gave us a few fossils to take home with us. So I've got some fossilized coral, which was really neat, and another like little shell, like a round shell. And I don't remember what he said. Maybe it's an arthropod, or I think that might have been it. But yeah, we just had a really lovely time doing that. And there's also a lot of driftwood in the park, so I brought home some driftwood. We found this one piece that kind of looks like a mermaid. So I'm gonna polish it up a little bit and set it out as a display somewhere. Yeah, so okay, I like that one too. All right, let's do this one. I think I'm gonna do a very light yellow for this one. So I'm gonna use this color blend pencil in the background, and this is pretty light. Yeah, and then since then, just been trying to get back into normal everyday activities, you know. It's the kids. My son finally started back to school like full time. He was on an adjusted schedule, so he was going 2 to 3 days to school in person, depending on the week, and it was only like half of the student body was there. And then this week they implemented everybody everybody in, everybody full capacity. Yeah. So I guess that's good news. It is still a little worrisome sometimes, but I think they're still having to wear masks in school. There's still some separation. But yeah, they're pretty much back to school full time. My younger daughter has been on that schedule all year, but they had like dividers up between the desks. They had masks that they had to wear. They had like they were only allowed to take their masks off for lunch, things like that. And their school didn't have any in-school cases of COVID. They had a few kids who had to be quarantined, but it was from outside sources. So, yeah, it was I think our schools did a really good job of trying to protect the kids. They did a good job. But it's nice to see a little bit of normality back in our everyday, you know. I think I'm not really sure what I want to do on these. Do a little bit of yellow there. This is turning out very, like, I don't know. This is very bright. That's okay. That's okay. All right, let's use some turquoise. So I've got this light sea green color. That's pretty. Probably should have expected this to be super bright since I'm using these super bright pencils. I'm going to blend that a little bit with this. What else? Let's see. Oh, well, Easter's tomorrow. And our, no, that's not the right one. Our church had tickets to be able to come to Sunday service because it's always packed. But my mother-in-law, who is normally, she's very religious and she's just a wonderful person. But my husband and I are not as much. Like I don't hold it against anybody. As long as you're not trying to force me to do what you think is right, then we're good to go. But she was at Mass, and she got some tickets for us so that we could go to Mass. But then she said that she wasn't going to be going, and nobody really wants to go if she's not going. So I'm not sure how that's gonna play out this time. And a little bit of a gray here. I'm gonna add this to the bunny. So I'm thinking that nobody's going to be going to Mass this year. She's going to a different Mass. She's not going to Mass at all, she's not going to Mass at all. She's going to a different Mass this time. So she's going to go to this Easter Vigil service that we have. And it's all of the people that have been going through the Catholic classes for the year. They're getting all getting baptized and stuff, and she said it's one of her favorite masses, so she's going to go to that. And then yeah, and then I think we're just going to go and have some lunch at her house with the family, which will be nice to see everybody. We've not seen everybody for a little while. I don't know how I like this guy turning out either. I've been in, I don't know, ever since I finished my buddy color with Emma, I have been a little bit in a coloring slump. Like I haven't, the page that I'm working on in my planner is not going well. I colored something else the other day with some Inktense pencils and just did not like it. So I don't know exactly what's going on, but it's been a little bit of a chore almost to color. And I don't want that. I am working on another video. And that video is turning out, the page for that video is turning out okay. But everything else that I've been doing is just, I don't know, it's just not been my favorite. I'm going to keep going because that's what I do. But yeah. It's cute. All right, I need a little bit of a brown color to do that basket. Let's grab, so I've got this brown color. I just want to, oh no, you know what? I want a pink basket. I don't want that basket or that color. I want pink. Let's do this really light pink. Yeah, so I'm excited to see our family tomorrow. I think we will still get a little dressed up. Always nice to have fun pictures of your family from Easter. All looking nice together. My husband, he ran in a race a few years ago that was close to Easter. So the shirt that they gave everybody was this horrific, so ugly tie-dye shirt with a giant rabbit coming out of the center of it. And he likes to wear it every Easter because he knows how much I hate it. So I'm going to try to hide it this year. And hopefully he won't be wearing it. We'll see how that goes. Add a little bit of white here. Okay. Let's see. I might color these little flowers here, and then I'm going to do it with a darker pink. What else? Opening day of baseball was yesterday, I think. I think it was yesterday. My husband's been in baseball heaven. When he was younger, he would play this game with his dad that was called Stratomatic, and it's basically just these cards with a bunch of baseball stats all over it, and you have to like roll dice to see who gets to use which play. I don't understand it, but it was all about baseball statistics, and he absolutely loved it. So he's always been a baseball statistician. He just, yeah, that's just his favorite. I think I'm going to color her hair this brown color. I think. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm just going to do little strands and we'll see how that goes. I probably should have just colored that in chunks, but that's okay. That looks all right. I added some yellow, see if that changes a little. It is what it is, right? I'm gonna color her dress blue, her shirt blue at least. What was I talking about? I think I say that in every single video. What was I talking about? Yeah, so he likes baseball. He's been in baseball heaven. He's also a big basketball fan. He's just a sports fan in general. So he's been enjoying the Final Four, the March Madness. Oh, not the Final Four. It's not Final Four yet. I think that might be next weekend maybe. But he's been enjoying watching the basketball games, both the girls and boys college, I guess, sorry, men's and women's college tournaments. And I have been watching those with him, sort of, because when I'm coloring out in the room with him, that's what's on TV, which I don't mind. I don't really pay a whole lot of attention because I'm coloring. So, but yeah, he's been in sport heaven. My daughter, my oldest daughter, she got to come back up and she's home this weekend with us, which is, I mean, we just saw her a week ago, but I really do miss her. She's just, I love her so much. I love all my kids, but when she's gone, I feel it. I feel that she's gone and I don't like it. And then let's see what else. Oh, my daughter started playing kickball, which is a huge sport for the Catholic schools here. I never played it growing up, so I don't really get it, but my oldest daughter played and she kind of liked it, but my younger daughter is a little competitive, so she is she's really liking it so far. She's not played a game. She's got her first game next week, so we'll see how that goes. I think she's going to be on a good team again. Whether she's good or not, I have no idea. But she comes home happy every day because she kicked the ball or she ran faster on the bases. Let's see. Skirt. Let's do some of the darker blues. We'll do these blues. I'm going to color everything in this darker blue first. Yeah. I do have several videos getting ready to come out. Like I said, the one that I'm working on currently is going pretty well. It is another color along, so hopefully people like it. I do have some stuff recorded about the mythographic books and how I cover the crazy, weird hidden objects. So hopefully, oh shoot, hopefully that will be coming out soon. That just broke the whole tip. I'm gonna have to break the whole tip, I think. There we go. Yeah, so hopefully that one will be coming out soon. And hopefully you guys like that one. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it for today. Sorry, I'm not really feeling the whole coloring thing today. Maybe I can use my Prismacolors on the top part of this page just to kind of not have to use these Artlicious pencils. They're not terrible. They really aren't. They get the job done, and it's a decent pencil for a budget price. But they just don't behave as well as I would like. So the color blend ones are working perfectly fine. It's the Artlicious ones that I'm having an issue with. Okay, so thanks for joining me today. This is a little bit longer than I normally do for my color and chats, so hopefully it wasn't too boring, I guess. Yeah, so I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, a happy Easter, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.